Bishop International Airport, the gateway to Flint and Genesee County, is in many ways the pride of the community.
This Bishop Airport is the initiator of how we can bring up our community to live and to build. I think anybody that walks through those gates, they feel that, hey, this is a first-class operation.
But like its community, the airport has humble roots. Bishop's story started in 1928 with Arthur Giles Bishop.
I know he was a very kind, quiet person. He did an enormous amount of things behind the scenes. He was not showy in any way. He was a banker. He had been with Genesee Bank from the beginning, and he was took a great interest in the airport and gave the original land, as you probably know, to build the original airport.
Barney Bishop and Falding Godola are Bishop's great-granddaughters. Both were young when their great-grandfather passed away, but his memory lived on during their childhood and adulthood. Stories about Bishop always took center stage at family gatherings. Oftentimes, those stories included his friend and airport visionary Sid Stewart, who convinced Bishop to take an interest in his idea.
Well, he had a terrific foresight into air travel, or not travel, but airplanes. And Sid Stewart was a good friend, and the two of them, I don't know who else actually was involved with the planning aspect or whatever, but he bought the land and donated it to the city of Flint with this specific order that it be made into an airport.
In the early years, the airport continued to grow and thrive. But by the 1950s, the facility started to deteriorate.
Well, it wasn't the greatest. When I came to Bishop Airport in 1960, there was grass growing in between the runway and the taxiways. There was one Quonset hut hangar that they used for refueling like the old service stations would have.
The old terminal was so bad, it had leaks. There were buckets in the lounges to collect the water coming through the roof. The visibility was bad, the seating was bad.
The status quo remained for years, and general aviation became an afterthought. Then in 1987, a new beginning was on the horizon.
Mayor Sharp at the time and his assistant, Rob Collier, realized that in order for the city to progress, we needed to upgrade and have an airport to attract air carriers. So the city at that time did not have the financial capability of generating those kind of revenues.
And so was born the idea for an airport authority. Dave McCready, a pilot and area businessman, was among others appointed to a feasibility committee to discuss how to form the authority.
The advantage of an authority is that it has the ability to raise revenue to promote the airport.
Developing the authority was a 2-year process. Now United States Congressman Dan Kildee was just beginning his political career in Genesee County and led the campaign to create the authority.
I was on the committee that helped negotiate the agreement, but then on August 10, 1987, I remember the date when we at the county passed the resolution and formed the agreement, we had to put together a campaign pretty quickly to go to the voters to approve creation of the authority and then millage support in order to construct the facilities and provide the operational support.
And the voters listened, deciding in favor of creating an authority and a millage. 9 Airport Authority board members were appointed from Flint and Genesee County. Finding someone to steer the ship in uncharted waters was their first task.